Blood sugar and metabolic flexibility is one of the most misunderstood pillars of health. Improving these can impact every aspect of our health today and our health moving forward as we age. I am Janel Anderson. I'm a board certified nutritionist and a doctor of natural medicine. I specialize in hormone health, energy, digestion, and endurance, all of which metabolic flexibility and blood sugar are really important for. So I'm happy to be here today talking to you about metabolic flexibility. Simply put, metabolic flexibility refers to the ease at which we switch from burning glucose for energy to burning fat for energy. So, first off, who should care about this? If you eat food, if you experience stress, if you want to improve how you age, or if you want to improve how you feel today, this topic, metabolic flexibility, is for you. When we are stuck in glucose burning mode, like most of us are today, we are on a blood sugar roller coaster, and these ups and downs impact every cell in our body and so many symptoms. What people don't understand is that this is really important for all of us, even people who are already health conscious. Metabolic flexibility really exists on a spectrum. It's not just healthy or diseased state. So, why would we improve our metabolic flexibility? When we are metabolically flexible and we are easily able to switch from glucose burning to fat burning mode, we have stable energy all day long. Improve our moods that are associated with the glucose roller coaster, such as anxiety. When we are metabolically flexible, we reduce our food cravings. So we really function our best today. We age our best. Metabolic flexibility helps us improve our brain function and our mental clarity. We can improve our athletic performance. We can improve our sleep, the quality of sleep, how much sleep. It helps us improve our hormone balance and all of the symptoms associated with our hormones. We burn fat and impact our body composition. We reduce bonking. We can prevent future health conditions and disease states associated with aging, such as Alzheimer's and cardiovascular disease and more. There are so many reasons at a cellular level and at a symptom level to improve our metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility is the body's ability to adapt and use whatever fuel is available to it. It's the ability to flip back and forth again between glucose and fat for fuel. It helps us to be more resilient, and it really is a true marker of health. The problem is our modern world makes this extremely challenging, and I find most people are pretty bad at this flexibility. So, as you've already learned, when we have glucose in our blood from either the food we eat or from a stressful situation, a rise in insulin always follows. And the thing is, insulin and a rise in insulin is a signal that we don't need to break down fat for energy, that tells us we already have enough energy. So our body will always choose glucose first because it's fast and easy. Our metabolism basically forgets how to burn fat for energy. We can become more metabolically flexible, but getting there is a process. It takes time, and we can't force it. If we do, we're going to feel pretty crummy. Glucose is a fast source of energy, but it burns dirtier than fats. In a fire analogy, glucose would be like the kindling. It burns fast and easily, but we have to keep stoking the fire or it goes out. Using fats for energy is slower, but more efficient and steady. It yields more energy and it's cleaner. So we convert fat into ketones, and these ketones we use when we're burning fat for energy have a reparative component that's incredibly helpful for so many tissues in the body, especially the brain. In the fire analogy, burning fat for energy is like burning big, thick logs. They take longer to get burning, but they burn slow and steady and last a long time. So we're really meant to burn both glucose and fats for energy. They both have incredible benefits. But again, I found most people, even health conscious ones, are pretty bad at flipping back and forth. So before we move on, I want to mention that really, even in order to practice intuitive eating, in my opinion, we have to have some sort of metabolic flexibility first. So we're not just listening to a metabolism that's stuck on the sugar burning roller coaster. So, what makes us less metabolically flexible? It's really the accumulation of all of these modern day things, day after day. So, we have a list here, you can read it. Eating or drinking continuously all day long periods of sitting, a lack of fiber, a lack of protein and healthy fats, processed foods, added sugars, chronic stress, poor sleep, damage to our mitochondria, which can come from consuming a lot of seed oils or from heavy metals, mold, oxidative stress, fructose, and other things. It can be from a lack of nutrients that our mitochondria need. Our mitochondria are where energy is made in our cells. So we may be lacking certain nutrients that the mitochondria needs. And in this situation, digestion and absorption is also a component. There are certain genetics that make us less metabolically flexible. And we can take some of these things. We're all resilient, but over time, this compounds to reduce that sensitivity to insulin and reduce our metabolic flexibility. We also have various hormone changes that impact our metabolic flexibility. So, briefly, estrogen doesn't seem to mind the stress hormone cortisol so much. Estrogen also makes us more sensitive to insulin. So, it's easier to manage our blood sugar. That's in the first half of our cycle before ovulation when estrogen is high. The second half of our cycle is all about progesterone. And progesterone makes it a little bit trickier to manage our blood sugar, and we're more sensitive to stress and the hormone cortisol during this phase. So, during the second half of your cycle, you might need to give yourself a break and focus on some more healthy snacks if you have more cravings, which many women naturally do. And all of this changes in menopause when estrogen and progesterone drop and we become less sensitive to insulin. So it's more important to focus and pay attention and make changes. So I've mentioned that we can impact this and we can improve our ability to bounce back and forth between burning fat and burning glucose for energy. This is going to look different for everyone, depending where you're coming from. If you're coming from a ketogenic diet, you might be able to cycle in more complex carbs and see how that goes. Carbs are so important, and I find many women specifically do well cycling them in for a lot of reasons, including for our microbiome, for thyroid health, for the minerals, vitamins, fiber, hormones, and the antioxidants that are in them. If you're more typical and you find yourself burning more glucose for energy, you want to start with becoming more sensitive to insulin and optimizing blood sugar. The crazy cool thing is we have lots of tools to do just that. So Some of the immediate ways we can impact this is the foods we eat, the timing of when we eat, the amount of stress in our lives or how we process that stress, how well we sleep, and how we move our body. Long term, we can impact this by increasing our muscle mass, improving our microbiome, supporting the integrity of our mitochondria, those energy makers, in improving the cell membranes in our bodies, and also by getting all the nutrients and cofactors that the mitochondria need to produce energy. Okay, so how do we do this? First off, it is super important to listen to your unique body and do what is right for you. But the first step for most of us is to increase our sensitivity to insulin and to reduce those big blood sugar spikes and dips. Then we can gently nudge our body into fat burning mode and feel great doing so. If we try to move too fast, we're going to feel pretty crummy. So, here are 10 ways you can start improving your metabolic flexibility and feel good doing so. Number one, fat, fiber, protein, that magic formula at every single meal and snack. Number two, prioritize sleep. So do what you need to do to get to sleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed and sleep at least 7 to 9 hours a night. Number three, build muscle. So focus on building muscle. That is going to help metabolic flexibility. Number five, try a 12-hour eating window. 12 to 14 hours seems to be pretty safe and a good starting point for most people. Now, there's pros and cons to intermittent fasting, and this needs to be very personalized, but a 12-hour eating window is a pretty great place to start and shoot for. So that would mean, eat between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and then give your body that 12 hours while you're sleeping a break. Number six, consider how much you're snacking during the day. Again, we don't want our blood sugar to stay up all day. So if we're burning glucose and we're on the blood sugar roller coaster, we might need a lot of snacks, but we want to just get curious there. Consider how much we're eating and drinking or stressed out during the day. So just start thinking about how often is your blood sugar elevated during the day. Number seven, reduce processed foods. Even healthy processed foods can really spike our blood sugar. Eight, add vinegar to your life, any kind of vinegar to reduce blood sugar spikes. Even just a tablespoon in your salad dressing or apple cider vinegar and water, any kind, any time of day. Number nine, add MCT oil to your life. This helps us make ketones so we can really kick into fat burning mode and feel amazing. I like to put it in my smoothies. Number 10, focus on slow carbs. So these are foods like broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, leafy greens, sweet potatoes, blueberries, lentils, quinoa, millet, and more. Okay, so three takeaways. Number one, we are made to burn both sugar and fat for energy, and both have their advantages. Number two, optimizing blood sugar and metabolic flexibility will improve how we feel day to day and prevent diseases associated with aging. Number three, move slowly here and do what is right for your unique body. This can take time, but big changes are possible. So, thank you so much for your time. See you in office hours.